I left the marriage with $100 in my wallet and was without a home for like 6 months. I traveled in a semi for like 6 months with someone, a very good human, thank goodness. Ended up staying on friends' couches. Like, it was just very challenging. And then when the judge told me, because I fought in my divorce, I had no money, I had no access to anything. I had to just do all this shit on my own. And thank goodness I had good friends around me to like support me and lift me up when I couldn't get up off the ground. And that pause, reflect, move forward poem has changed my life. I mean, March of 2025 was 9 years it had been 9 years since I wrote that poem. And I really practice it every day.
Welcome back to the Badass Women in Business podcast with Holly Oldham today on the show. So excited to have you, Holly. Token question to everybody who is listening to us. Tell everybody your story.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I love to talk and I love money and I love to be considered a badass. So I feel like I'm right at home here. So thank you so much. Currently, I'm a house manager. In my previous life, I was a stay-at-home mom. I had 4 children and I was underappreciated by my significant other. Like, never a fucking thank you. Or, hey, I saw that you did that today. You did a great job. I appreciate you. It never happened. So 19 years later, I got divorced and now I'm paid a premium rate for these stay-at-home mom skills that I'm leveraging. And I highly suggest anybody else do the same. But it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, right? I am so grateful. Pause, reflect, move forward is the name of my business. I have it tattooed on my arm. It's a poem. I'm a comedic poet on the side. I never did really good at it, never made much money at it. Apparently, I'm not as funny as I think. So I clean. And then my clients that like me, which they all do, they hire me for their parties and I tidy and I do comedy at the same time. So it just fucking meshes really well. I'm so grateful. Like, people laugh at my jokes. So yeah, I make way more money in the cleaning industry than I ever did doing stand-up comedy or poetry. My poetry was like all about self-love and mental wellness. However, I did better when I did erotic poetry. So I'm a dirty like poet and a dirty cleaning business owner. So I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so move forward from a toxic relationship and I help create safe environments for entrepreneurs, safe and healthy environments for entrepreneurs to continue to thrive in. Like, for example, do either of you like doing laundry? Yes or no?
No.
You like doing laundry? Okay.
I love it.
That's fine. That is fine. My clients, they don't like it. So I charge them a lot of money to wash, dry, fold, iron, put away, organize, take to the dry cleaner if they need it. So you are not my ideal client. You, on the other hand, are. So thank you so much. So look, cleaning up your environment is vital for survival. Okay. All jokes aside, like, if you're living in chaos, you can't thrive. If you invite chaos into your home, don't expect to have peace. I mean, these are all like little cliches, if you will, but there's a lot of truth to it. Wouldn't you agree?
100%. You're onto something.
I believe so. Like, domestic violence is a real thing. I don't care if it's physical or if it's verbal, but if you're called a piece of shit for a long time, you look in the mirror, you think you're a piece of shit. Or like me, I start cleaning it up and make a bunch of money. I mean, it works for me. It may not work for everybody else, right? But I decided to use those words of hate and turn them into love and money, because it just works way better for me than hate. Like, there's just no room in my life for hate. Unfortunately, during the divorce, I'd experienced some parental alienation. It generally happens to the fathers. However, it does happen to mothers. And I was performing in Vegas, August of 2019, at a parental equality event. And at that time, I think it was like 313 days I hadn't seen, spoken, or smelled 2 of my minor children for one reason or another, due to no fault of my own. It ended up being 339 days until it was that I saw them and got to hang out with them, which, if you can imagine, that was a very interesting experience, not just for me, for them, not knowing what in the world's going on and who to believe. And I think they're still kind of in that now. I mean, There are adults. All four of my children are adults. I'm a grandmother now. And so I have a responsibility to what? One, I finally decided that, like, look, either my children are going to come in and find me not alive, unalive on the floor, or I need to get out of here and maybe save myself so I can teach my children that being in toxic environments isn't healthy. I didn't want my girls knowing that or thinking that it was okay for a man to treat someone that way, whether male, female, whatever gender, right? And I didn't want my son thinking that it was okay to treat women so disrespectful and underappreciate anything that's done. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom for 11 years. My home was my castle. My current home is my castle. I left the marriage with $100 in my wallet and was without a home for like 6 months. I traveled in a semi for like 6 months with someone, a very good human. Thank goodness for him. Ended up staying on friends' couches. Like it was just very challenging. And then when the judge told me, because I fought in my divorce, I had no money, I had no access to anything. I had to just do all this shit on my own. And thank goodness I had good friends around me to like support me and lift me up when I couldn't get up off the ground. And that pause, reflect, move forward poem has changed my life. I mean, March of 2025 was 9 years that it had been 9 years since I wrote that poem. And I really practice it every day. I believe that there are three phases in life. Like there's a pause phase, a reflect phase, and a move forward phase that we all experience. I'm sure you would agree, right? At different seasons, different times, all the things. But here's what happens. Once we decide which phase we're in, the pause, the reflect, or the move forward phase, we need to decide which phase we desire to be in. Right? So if we've already moved forward, then guess what happens? We have to pause, reflect, and move forward again. It's like this constant circle of life, ladies. Right? And if it's just something that somebody can just grab onto and say, wow, those four words make a difference. I mean, call it spiritual, call it religion, call it whatever it is that you want. However, if you practice those words, the more you practice them, the more you're going to move forward. I guarantee you that.
It's a journey. It's a journey you've been on. So,
just a little bit.
In this journey, just a little, how has being a business owner and entrepreneur actually helped you through the phases you've been going through?
Look, cleaning is therapeutic. I have a client that she refuses for me to match her socks of her family of four. She tells me it relaxes her. Good, because socks stress me out. I don't want nothing to do with them. You go right ahead. I'll prepare a nice little pretty basket for you. You can do them all yourself. Like, I'm not interested in doing matching socks. Anyways, my children, when they were growing up, they had a sock drawer. And if they wanted to wear matching socks, they would have to match them, right? All four of my girls, three of my girls, they shared a room at one time. And they, for whatever reason, they all kind of wore the same size sock. And if they didn't, either way, they were still in the sock drawer. Okay. Like, poor children didn't have any time to be like going through sock drawers. And then when they were little, I had 309 clients in my first cleaning business. I built it in 5 years. Like, when I hired my girls to come on Friday to clean my toilets, I sat there on a couch and did nothing. A great feeling. Like, I'm not exactly sure how other parents of four do not have a cleaning lady just to kind of take up some of the flipping slack. Like, you can hire me for weekly, you can hire me for every other week, you can hire me for quarterly. And sometimes you can't hire me at all because I really don't want to clean. I'm at this point of my career where I run my business part-time. I make a great income. So I have other business endeavors too. Now, maybe you have a current cleaning business, or maybe you know somebody that does, or maybe you're like, wow, Holly, I can do laundry and I don't have to match people's socks like me, right? And you want to learn how to do it. You can take a little program that I have called From Solo Cleaner to Essential House Manager. I schedule the pool guy. I schedule the pest control. I order groceries. I make protein drinks. I mean, I did all these things for my significant other. Again, I never got a thank you once. So, I mean, do we have to get divorced in order to be appreciated at this point of our lives? I mean, look, if I started smoking marijuana sooner, I'd have left his ass a long time ago. Okay. I didn't start smoking until I was in my 40s. I was completely, I was raised on oh, marijuana is bad for you. You shouldn't smoke it. It saved my life, ladies. Saved my life. You guys are laughing at me currently. Right? You're laughing. I hope everybody can see that you're laughing, by the
We're
way.
not laughing at you. We're laughing with you, but that was very quotable. Like that was the quote of the whole show so far.
Great. So make sure that's good, Kyle. Okay? Make sure that's a
I,
short reel so we can advertise for that, okay?
that's a good one. I don't know if you've ever watched Ellen, but she had this guest one
Of course.
time who said, I love Jesus, but I drink a little. So what you said was kind of like reminiscent
Well,
of that. That's pretty good.
look, alcohol ruined my family. Not to mention, it's full of calories and it makes your skin bad. It makes your breath stink. It depletes your bank account and you make bad decisions and you're miserable or angry or sad. I mean, like, why are they still selling this crap? Oh, I know why, because they won't legalize marijuana. That's the reason why, right? I mean, they make more money off of pharmaceuticals, yes?
You must not live in Colorado.
I'm currently in Florida. I have a medical marijuana license, though, because look, I'm not smoking to get high. I'm just smoking to get by. There's a huge difference. I can't run a successful business and smoke pot all day long, even though I just went and bought a new bong. But that's for me to sleep at night, right? I mean, look, we have to take care of ourselves, and no matter what that looks like. All my clients know that I'm a member of the LGBTQ community. They know that I smoke marijuana. They know that I don't drink alcohol. They trust me. When I'm in their $10 million homes, they don't have to worry about whether I'm going to steal their Rolex or try on their Manolo Blahnik shoes. Although I thought about it. It's what it is. I mean, I have to tell you, I admire the shoes. I admire the art. It's there to look at. Of course, I'm going to look at it. And guess what? Because I'm around that luxury, this shit just falls off on me. I don't have any bullshit text message is about, Holly, you did not move the rock on my fireplace to clean under it. No, because I was too busy cleaning up pee pee and poopy from dogs that aren't potty trained because you don't have time to do it. And I have to clean that up. Somebody's got to clean it up. I don't have those text messages. You know, the more you charge, the less bullshit text messages you get. The less you charge, the more text messages you get.
That is so true.
Do you know anybody in the cleaning industry, ladies?
Well, that's how I got started.
Well, so you were saying that you got started in commercial cleaning. So I offer a service that cleans specifically 7 feet and above in restaurants. I stopped taking my children out to restaurants because they're dirty, filthy, filthy. So I decided to create a service that would clean those areas. If you sit down and you look up and there's a dirty vent above you, do you want to sit there? Do you look up? Okay, so they're both shaking their heads no. In case you're listening to the podcast, they can't see that. They're both shaking their heads no. So if you have a vent that's above you that's dirty at a restaurant, what do?
You think that your food might not be clean too.
What about you, dear?
Oh, I call somebody and tell them.
You call Holly. You call Holly because Holly travels and Holly will come clean at restaurants. That's what you do from now on.
Yeah, I will tell them to call Holly if they're in Florida. Hopefully you're not taking your thing on the road all the way from Florida to Colorado because...
I travel nationwide.
Wow. Okay.
And I'd like to start traveling out of the country. I cleaned in Vancouver last year. This year I cleaned in Honduras, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. I do environmental cleaning, exterior, minimum of 15 minutes a day for the last 4.5 years. So I don't know any other person in the cleaning industry that's as dedicated to cleaning as much as I am. Not saying that I'm better or any way, shape, or form. Just that maybe I'm a little crazier about the environment than some people are. I'm not just looking for a paycheck. I'm looking to make a difference. And that's the difference with PRMF cleaning. That's the difference from being a solo cleaner to a house manager. These things matter to the clientele that I am catering to. I'm like a concierge service. Imagine what it would feel like, ladies and gentlemen, if you had somebody at your home that does meal prep protein shakes for you 2 a day for you to just take out of the freezer when you're ready and put in your little lunchbox so you're not buying fast food and you're there actually taking care of your mind, body, and your spirit. I have been taking care of one particular family for a little over a year and a half. She was a 3X, a size 3X, and I might cry because I'm so proud of her. She's down to a size large. She's lost 100 pounds. You tell me cleaning up your environment doesn't help. And I'll tell you that you're wrong. Because I know, I've witnessed it. I see it every week where I remodel. One of my clients is remodeling their home. It's imperative that you schedule cleanings before the construction person gets here, the remodeling person, so they can put up the correct drapery. And if they don't have the correct drapery, guess what? I'm going to be telling them that they need to go out and purchase the correct drapery to protect all of your items. Everything in your home is an investment. If you're remodeling, you need care prior to the remodeling. You need care during the remodeling. And one thing you can do is change your AC filter every week. That will help cut down on the dust, right? And then you also need clean up afterwards. And then I would still, even for a month afterwards, I would clean your AC filter once a week just to keep that dust down because it's going to be created. If they're sanding in there and they're not sanding outside, which a lot of people do, or remodels, they go in, or GCs, they go in your garage, it's still getting in your vents. It's really important to protect yourself. So I'm very much about the environment. Do I like to have fun? Yes. Otherwise, what's the flipping point? Like, I've cried too much in my life. If cleaning makes me laugh and cleaning makes you all smile and you're smiling because I'm cleaning up the poopy and not you, then so be it, right? As long as you're smiling. And that's my job, because people aren't paying me to clean their house. They're paying me for the feeling that they get when their house is clean. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
It's a completely different mindset when you're catering to people that spend $8,000 on a weekend for at the Four Seasons. Like, I mean, and if you only charge them $25 an hour to clean their house, they're really not going to hire you. And if they do, then they're not really rich, right? They might not be willing to pay the $80 to $150 an hour that I'm charging. And if so, then maybe they're not who I want to work with either, because they may be people that are nitpicking. If they want to negotiate the price, now look, I give sales all the time to my clients. Why? Because it's called customer fucking retention. That's why. I mean, you have to take care of the people that take care of you. Because of my one client that gave me a $10,000 payment plus gratuity the other day, I was able to pay off my flipping car. And guess what? When I went to her house the next day, and I helped her clean out her closet, because that's what we were doing that day, I told her, and very much my eyes welted up. And I said, because of you, I was able to pay off my car payment. Like, that means something to people. It sure should meant something to me. Wouldn't it mean something to you? Somebody gave you a $10,000 plus paycheck for cleaning their house? Thank you very much. I'm certainly not going to spend it wrong. I'm going to think about how I spent it. Now, she gave me $10,000 last year, which she had paid me close to that last year at one point, but I spent it not the right way. But this time I learned, when your payment, when your tip is over $900, I mean, ladies, there's a certain amount of appreciation you have to give to your customers, right? And if giving them a 10% discount, even a 30% discount occasionally, I mean, and if you're only making $15, $20 an hour, you can't necessarily give a 30 or a 50% discount now, can you? And before we started the podcast, I decided to change my name from solo cleaner to house manager so I can give myself a raise. And I did, and everybody's rates increased 50% in January 1st. There wasn't even a problem with it. So it matters where you network. It matters who you talk to. It matters who you hang around. Because when I have these conversations with other cleaning business owners, like, there's all these different groups on social media, like Facebook has lots of groups, cleaning groups. And I tell them, and they question me. And here's the thing, even if I proved to them and showed them the invoice from QuickBooks, they're going to say that I chat GPT'd it or something, They're not going to believe me. And here's the thing, I don't need to prove them anything. I need to prove to my bookkeeper, I need to prove to the IRS, and I want to show my kids that mommy can leave with $100 and she can come back better than ever. That's my responsibility. You can go down to nothing and have absolutely nothing. But if you have something to hold on to, some shred of hope, and instead of fear, they're both four letters. Fear's completely made up, but hope, there's something to hold on to there. And that's what I did. I held on to that hope that I was going to see my children again. I still hold on to that hope. And someday they're going to say, I understand. When that day is going to be, I'm not sure. However, I'm hopeful. I'm not fearful, right? So as entrepreneurs, as parents, as grandparents, like I am now, I'm Grandma Turtle, by the way, because that matters. Grandma Turtle, teaching my grandson, Colton, all about turtles. It matters how we manage business. I created financial freedom for myself post-divorce. A lot of people get married for financial freedom. I had to get divorced.
So, as a house manager, I'm not going to say solo cleaner, but as a house manager, as the concierge of everything that you provide to your clients, when you're growing a business at some point in time, you either get to your capacity, meaning that you have the right amount of clients, you're charging them the right amount of money, and that's all you'll ever do for the rest of your cycle in this business. But if you wanted to grow, if you wanted to get more clients, if you wanted to grow your business further, how would you scale yourself? Because you are offering all of those extra services to your clients, and not everybody goes above and beyond.
So one, you're going to have to take my course, dear, right? Because all that information is in there, right? Because you can't go from, like, at one point I was at $25 and I wanted to go from $25 to $55. Why? Because my ego was in charge. At that point, my ego was like, you need more money, woman. You need to charge it. I'm telling you, I almost lost 2 clients and their office. I had both of the residences and a house. And so I backpedaled, woohoo, because I wasn't at a point where I could, lose those 3 opportunities a month, right? So it's all about strategy, right? And I didn't go off of anybody's scale. Oh, Sally's charging $22 and Debbie's charging $35. I charged based upon what my bills were or the lifestyle that I wanted to live. Who says you have to follow this or have to follow that other than me telling you need to take my course? Because obviously I'm teaching things that I've already learned. Right? I can't teach something that I've never learned to do. So scaling myself to be profitable, I have all sorts of different business endeavors and they all have to do with the cleaning industry. If you want non-toxic cleaning products in your home that are safe for you, your pets, and your environment, I could point you in a direction to show you how to do those. If you need somebody to organize, I can do that. I can host parties. And taking the initiative matters, right? I was having a conversation in one of the Facebook groups and I said that I did laundry and the lady chimes in. She goes, I've never had anybody ask me to do laundry. And I go, nobody's asked me either, but I asked them if they wanted to have it done. Duh. Like so many people are leaving money on the table. Like I did a job. One of the high top cleaning jobs that I do is called HTC, the ones that are 7 feet and above. Okay. I left money on the table the first time. And here's why, how I left money on the table. So I did the 7 feet and above cleaning. The cleaning crew that they had was absolutely terrible. It was a restaurant, a high-end restaurant, and I wanted to vomit. After what the cleaning company had done, it was terrible, okay? How I left money on the table was after the job was done and I got my $9,500 check. I didn't tell them that I could have done the deep clean from 7 feet down. I left another 10 grand. It would have been easy, another $10,000. So we have to stop leaving money on the table, ladies. There's too much money at risk. There's too much opportunity out there for us to say that I don't know how to get any cleaning jobs. What? I don't have the money. I don't have the money to go out and buy a new outfit or buy shoes. One, borrow something. Two, go to a thrift store. I told you when I left, I had $100 in my wallet. I did my first networking speaking like talk with my second cleaning business, right? So I brought the slideshow, right? Well, I didn't bring an HDMI cord, so my computer didn't hooked up to the projection screen, right? So I practiced what I was going to say, and I was like, well, I've been doing all this stand-up comedy. I've been winging it all this time. I might as well go out and do it, right? Again, I started January 2021. This was April 2021 that I did this speech in front of a networking group at 7:30 in the morning. Okay. So I'm standing there in these, like, they were probably like 4.5-inch heels, whatever. Somebody gave them to me. They were gold YSL shoes. They were fabulous, right? I had to wear them, right? So I go to Burlington Coat Factory. They have like name brand stuff for a less expensive price. If you've never been there, it's fabulous. They have great home stuff too. Anyways, they had a Calvin Klein like pencil navy dress with gold buttons, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, I could wear this with the shoes. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna do a really great job, right? So I do my presentation, right? I'm standing there in front of the thing, 7:30 in the morning. The networking coordinator asks me, do you clean in those heels? I looked at him, smiled, and I said, you can't afford me now. What makes you think that you could afford me then? So everybody was laughing when he said what he said. I silenced the room. And then I had a 28-year-old woman that walked up to me, who is still my client today, almost 4.5 years later. She said to me, I have a house for you. Oh, okay. It was a 10,000 square foot house. Because of her, I'm close to, after 4 years being in business, working by myself, over $350,000 at this point. I'm telling you, if $200,000 or more is because of her. You never know where you're going to meet. You want to know where to scale? You live in the hood. Maybe you live in the hood. You can't network in the hood. You got to get out of the hood. I was raised in the hood. Okay. The money that you want to make isn't there. Maybe it is there, but it's stuffed underneath a mattress and they're not going to let you clean their room anyways, right? Because all the money's there, right? You need to go where the money is in order to scale your business, to become successful, right? I mean, when I ran my first cleaning business and got it up to 309 clients, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd put my face on. I'd get all the kids' lunches ready before. So the neighborhood, like I did, carpooling and stuff. So the other neighbor could bring them to school on the days that I had this networking event. And then I took when I didn't have the kids, right? So I did all these things. I would go do the networking event. The first time I stood up at a networking event, I was in my 30s. I couldn't remember my name. I said, I have 4 kids. I have a cleaning business. Call me, right? And so I had no idea what I was doing, but at least I did it, right? My family was broke. We had 4 children, and the job that I signed up for when I got married was to be a stay-at-home parent. He couldn't hold up his end of the bargain, so I went back to work. I had 3 jobs. I had 4 kids and 3 jobs. I worked at a Italian restaurant as a hostess. I had a newspaper job, and I started this cleaning business, and I resented it for a year and a half because I didn't want to be cleaning anybody else's toilet but my own. I was mad and upset, and it took me 5 years to go 309 clients. Had I had that attitude and been like, I'm a woman, this is my business, and I can do anything, attitude. But I was pissed, right? So after a year and a half, I decided to own it, and that bad boy grew. And then I found out that it was no longer mine. Someone removed my name from it. So I walked away. I don't recommend anybody doing that. My ego was definitely hurt. And I think anybody else's would be too. I wasn't exactly sure. I was in my 30s. I didn't understand. Like, wait a second. A business that was mine, that I was the president, is no longer mine. So what do? You cry for a bit. And then you pause, you reflect, and you move forward. Because ain't nobody got time for that. So I built a business model that I can be proud of. I was never allowed to raise my rates above $29 an hour per person per hour. You know how much money I would have raised or I would have made for my family had I been able to do the things that I wanted to do in business? But my business partner was my spouse at the time, and nothing I said mattered. Now, everything I do in my business matters to my clients. Everything I do in business matters to my children. The 2 that I communicate with, They cheer me on all the time. And they say, Mom, they just need time. So during that time, I'm going to live my best fucking life. I'm going to care for people the way that I'd like someone to care for me because I'm still single, ladies and gentlemen. Not that I'm trying to get a hookup, but seriously, I don't have anybody to take care of. Let me take care of you. Like at one point, I advertised myself as the quintessential borrowed housewife, minus the benefits. Like I'll clean for you, I'll cook for you, but I don't need to do any of that other stuff. And I'm also going to charge you a premium rate for it. Why? Because the work that I do matters, right? So I love cleaning. I think it's a wonderful industry to be a part of. It's dirty business. However, I believe that the cleaners of the world are the essential workers of the world. Can you imagine what the world would look like if there were no cleaners that showed up? If everybody just said, guess what? I'm taking a day off. Garbage men aren't coming. Recycle men aren't coming, right? Ladies in the industry too. We have to clean up. And if I have to tell jokes and make people laugh about shit, literally, to get them to clean it up, then that's what I'm going to do. But I can also teach you how to make money at it too. Can you imagine working with me as a coach? You'll be laughing, but I'll be lighting your ass on fire the whole time. Like if I'm out here doing the work, I still advertise. Like I have an advertisement out for July 4th. I hosted a July 4th party last year. I had 75 people and I tidied the whole time and the people were able to entertain their guests. The wife, the husband, they didn't have to worry about cleaning up the 4 or 5 bathrooms that I was cleaning up after everybody went potty, you know? And while I was there, I did a couple of loads of laundry because why? Because the mom needed help. I mean, if you just take the initiative in the cleaning industry and you say, hey, would you like me to do a load of laundry? I mean, have you ever heard of such a thing? Listen to this. Have you ever heard of someone charging for washing dishes? A cleaning individual charging a separate amount to wash dishes. There are other cleaners that are out there charging separately for cleaning dishes. Some won't even wash the dishes. If I told my clients that I'm going to charge you $25 extra to do dishes, I'd be out of a job.
And I'm going to assume that you're smart enough that you already have the right rate that allows you to bring the added value.
I believe so. Sometimes in the past, I was embarrassed to tell people what I charged an hour because like I knew the comments that were going to happen and they happened. Like, what are you doing for $82.50 an hour? I'm paying my commercial auto insurance. I'm paying my licensing. I'm paying for all these products. I'm paying for the vitamins and the supplements that I take at almost 50 years old so I can continue to take care of your house. And then guess what? I'm also using them same vitamins and to make your protein shakes or to make my clients protein shakes. I mean, what are you doing with your cleaning business? I don't know. I'm making money and traveling the world. I didn't get to do that. I had 4 children in my 20s while other people are out partying. Like if we're not here to like live, then what are we doing here? I mean, yes, money is great. However, like when's the last time you've gone out and just put your feet in the ground and grounded yourself and been grateful to be able to put your feet in the ground because some people don't have feet, right? Like let's get back to doing the gratitude path. It's a very quiet path. I'm going to tell you. I've been on it for quite some time. I wrote an article in the Good Men Project, and it was called The More Gratitude You Speak, It'll Help Your Overall Mood. And I was living in a complex that had 15 speed bumps to get into it and 15 speed bumps out. So knowing me, you know that every time I went over those fucking speed bumps, I said, fuck, every time. 30 times in one way. Sometimes I'd be in and out of that complex 6 to 8 times a day. I said, fuck, 168 times with my children in the car. It was not working. Wasn't working, right? It was just creating all this hate in the small environment, right? So then I said, you know what? We're going to start saying that we're grateful for everything as soon as we go over the speed bump. So we'd all be in the car. I'd go over the speed bump. I'd say, I'm grateful I could see to go over this speed bump, right? They would say, I'm grateful for the car or I'm grateful for my lunch, right? So as we went over these, all this gratitude was filled in my car. Which do you think out of the two environments, the one that said fuck all the time is better for you and the children to be in, or the one where you're saying gratitude is better for you and the children to be in?
I'll take a wild guess and say gratitude.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, it's all a choice, how you think about it. And the cleaning industry is a big choice. There's a lot of directions that you can go with it. And once you decide what it is that you want to do, then I can help point you in the right direction, not in the wrong direction. Because so many people will tell you, oh, you should do this and you should do that. And most of them are your friends and family, and you shouldn't listen to them at all. I was told at the beginning of my second cleaning business that nobody was going to hire me because I was too pretty. I was like, you think I'm pretty? Like I was in like, what? I didn't even notice. Okay, thank you so much. I still got to clean anyway. So I did, and it works actually. Being a part of the LGBTQ community, you walk into a wealthy home that's a heterosexual couple, the wife likes that you're not interested in her husband. She's only interested in his money or her money, whichever the case may be, right? Like I'm not there for any ulterior motives other than to take care of myself and to take care of you while I'm there. And once people see that, they see the real you. Like, it's an interesting concept. Did you know in business, all you have to do is be yourself to be successful? So far, so good.
Showing up authentically. It's definitely one of the keys to success.
Well, yeah, but you can't be yourself with your spouse because, they don't appreciate you. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know what I'm saying, right? I mean, if you're yourself and not everybody likes you. And here's the thing, not everybody matters either. Like the day your opinion and your judgment pays my bills, then I'll start paying attention to you, right?
Fair enough. If you had to leave our audience with like one key piece of advice on how to break into maybe their cleaning journey, if that's what they're looking for, aside from starting your course, I got it, it's amazing. And that's how they would get the skinny mini on how to become a house manager. But what would you tell them?
Be yourself. Like in business, the side effect. Do you know what the side effect of being authentic is, ladies?
What is it?
The truth just falls out. Okay. And that's what's happened to me. And I love that about me. I think mostly my clients love that about me too. Right? My children, they could probably take it or leave it. My jokes are a little not so funny to them, but you guys are my target audience. So I'm not really trying to make them smile all the time, right? I sneeze and I make my grandson laugh, but I can't sneeze and make my children laugh. It is what it is, but just being yourself and showing up, letting your light shine, because you are a light in this universe. We say that the stars are in the sky, but we're the stars. We're the stars of the show, because when we're long and gone, these podcasts that you've created, they're going to be here forever. Wouldn't you want to have something that's meaningful on them to help somebody else on their journey forward instead of keeping them back? I mean, we're beat down enough as it is, generally by our people that are closest to us. Thank goodness for strangers on the internet that like my posts and are like, wow, this is inspiring. This is motivating, Holly. When in actuality, I'm just really trying to do it for me. And if it helps somebody else, then pause, reflect, move forward means more than I ever thought that it could be.
Pause, reflect, move forward. On that note, Holly, you say badass authentically.
It's the hair. It's my fade.
I'm sure it's all it is.
Looking good.
That's it.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much for showing up and sharing your story, Holly. This was amazing and entertaining.
Well, yeah, I'm so glad you guys laughed. And I hope you learned that you have to look up in restaurants. Look up and then call me and I'll go clean it.
I love it.
Sounds great. All right.
Till next time.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did recording it. If you like our show, please rate us, drop us a review on your favorite streaming app, and we'll catch you on the next episode. This was the Badass Women in Business podcast by Christy and Aggie.